Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to take a look at the physical Mira unit, and we're going to take a look at just how good he is in DBZ Dokkan battle after, well, nothing really. We're just going to see how good he is at 55%. Now I think he will be getting an easy A sometime soon, so I decided to do a review on him. He's also one of the units you can select with your gift cards nowadays, so it's pretty exciting and yeah, pretty cool to take a look at him. So obviously we have Magic-Clad Fighting Spirit Mira. He is a physical type lead of 90%. He raises attack and defense permanently on his super attack, and he has attack and defense of 100% when performing a super attack. He has an additional attack of 30% when all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class, and he has key +1 with each super attack performed up to +3. He also performs absorption when conditions are met. The absorb conditions are when health is below 60% or less, starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle. His link skills are Android Assault, Demonic Power, Tough as Nails, Kamehameha, which changes to Nightmare when he transforms, Fear and Faith, Xenoverse, and Fierce Battle. And he's on the Resurrected Warriors, Androids, Transformation Boost, Time Travelers, Artificial Life Forms, Kamehameha, Power Absorption, and Crossover categories. When he transforms, he has attack and defense of 120% when performing a super attack, raises attack permanently, and has a medium chance of launching an additional super. He also has key +3 plus an additional attack of 30% when all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class, plus an additional attack and defense of 5% per extreme class ally on the team. We're going to try him out on an Androids team, which I think is a pretty interesting team to run him on. Also can't seem to find any decent crossover teams. But you can basically, well, leads I should say, but you can basically run him on most of his teams. He actually has a pretty good pairing partner called Super Mira, which is a strength unit, and they share all their links in most of their categories. Link wise, he is a little bit wonky, definitely, but the unit is pretty fun still to use, and I think he's a pretty cool unit overall. Obviously his EZA can make him really spectacular, but I really like his animations a lot, and I think he's really quite a cool unit actually. So we're going to take a look at how well he performs. Obviously a main condition of him is that he stacks attack and defense. So what you really want to do is you want him to stack attack and defense as much as possible, so that you can carry these stacks over to his next form. That's really where you kind of want everything to be, you know, as like good as possible. So I think this guy is a pretty interesting unit. I think he is really solid, and I do think overall I think pretty good. So yeah, I do think he's an interesting unit. I like that he's a stacker. He doesn't really necessarily benefit too many teams. I think at Rainbow he has enough stats to make his stacking pretty decent. A Rainbow version of this unit, comparatively has 4,000 or so extra defense, compared to a non-hidden potential unit, and he has, 2,600 more defense, or a 33% defensive increase compared to a 55% unit. And this does aid stacking units quite a lot. Obviously they stack based off of the base defensive value, so having them stack is pretty good. Here obviously we're trying to push Super Mira off onto the next rotation together. They share quite a lot of links. They're also on a lot of categories, so it is something that is pretty good for him to have such a good pairing partner. He does also weirdly link pretty well with like Android 13 units, because he's got Android Assault, Tough as Nails, and Fear and Faith, which a lot of Android 13 and fused Android 13 units actually have. So he's a pretty interesting unit from that perspective. Demonic Power in terms of his links is a little bit limited, and Kamehameha is a little bit limited, but he actually shares quite a fun amount of links with Super Mira, with a fusion Android 13 unit. And his links are actually pretty good if you look at them in individuality. Android Assault's a great link, Demonic Power is a great link, Tough as Nails is a great link, Kamehameha is not one you're going to get with him very often. Fear and Faith, also not too much of a difference. Xenoverse, great link, and Fierce Battle, great link. So you do get quite a lot out of link leveling this guy, so I do think that's pretty interesting. And yeah, overall I do think he's still a pretty good option. Here we can see how his stacking goes at a decent clip, not anything crazy, and obviously with the defensive links we would be looking a lot better. So yeah, still pretty interesting as a unit. Obviously got some support on this rotation as well. His attack stat will go down. Last turn was pretty, yeah, I want to say was obviously a lot of attacking support, whereas his defense looks pretty decent here. 1 million in terms of attack stat doesn't look impressive, but remember, yeah, this is 55%. The unit does stack, and quite frankly he doesn't have any of his good links active. Now the main thing being with this unit is that when he transforms, he is going to get quite a sizable power increase as well. So I do think this guy is a fun unit. I think, you know, this guy is definitely an example of a unit that is going to, how can I say, benefit a lot from what you do with him. If you link level this guy, if you give him defensive equipments or offensive equipments, if you have dupes in him, you're going to see a vastly different unit than what I might see. Mainly because of the strength of the link set, the strength of dupes, the way the stacking mechanic works with it. If you've got the right pairing partner with them, there's a lot that's going to factor into how good this unit is. Here we can see him paired up with Super Mira. Definitely a good pairing. They share 4 links now, and then they share 5 after he transforms. So very nice pairing from that perspective. You know, we obviously have a good rotation here. Yeah, attack wise, again, not too much. We are just building him up. Yeah, that is something that is apparent. I think also one issue with him that I hope they address with his EZA is it's very difficult to warrant building him into additionals to maximize his stacking, because he has built-in additionals in his transform state. So you actually want to build him full crit currently, which is interesting. Hopefully they quantify that either by doubling down on the additionals in his transform state to warrant crit, or by giving him further, you know, crit based abilities based on how many attacks he does. But yeah, overall, you know, as you can see this turn again as well, you know, as a unit, definitely looking much better. 1.4 million. Obviously here again we do have a bit of support on the rotation, but you can see that stack, you know, that ability is building up. It's looking a lot better. He's going to transform as well, which is fantastic. And then when he transforms, which is going to be now after this cutaway, you know, nice animations, pretty crisp, pretty clean, nothing crazy. I mean, it's not like, you know, mind-blowing animations, but it's pretty cool that he's got his own little transformation animation. And yeah, he's a unit, you know, I think the 55% showcase does him a disservice. You can see how his defense had started stacking up. He's got over 100k now, pretty good. This isn't too far into the event. He's also, you know, going to have quite a sizable attack stat increase here, which I think is pretty good as well. So yeah, overall I think he's looking a lot better. He's got 5 links active, which is great. Doesn't gain any from Toa or Darkness Toa. But yeah, I think overall he's still looking really good. He's now got his medium chance of additional attack as well, which is great. And yeah, you can see this Mira obviously stacks defense very, very quickly, which is great. And 2.1 million, is it a mind-blowing stat for 2022? Not really. But yeah, if you were to rainbow this guy, if you were to link level him, if you were to put equipment into him, you could see very easily this guy be a very solid unit for, I would say, mid-game content. He's not going to be great in red zone. He's never going to be great in red zone. But with a couple dupes and equipment, this guy could definitely do Fighting Legend Goku GT. He could definitely do Fighting Legend Vegeta, I think. And possibly even he could be of use in some Gods of Destruction events. It depends on how many dupes you have. But yeah, I do think he has that usability. So yeah, we'll talk about his link set. Obviously, link set is probably one of the weaker sections of him, just due to the diversity. As you could see, he has some nice Android link sets. Android Assault, great link. Tough as Nails, great link. Nice thing about Android Assault is it gains key as you link level it. Tough as Nails, also a great link defensively. So those two links, pretty decent. Fear and Faith, also a fairly common extreme based link. Some Freezes have it, Android 13s have it, some Omega Shenrons have it, I think some Goku Blacks have it. So it's a decent link as well. Then Demonic Power, that's a bit more discreet. It's something you're going to share mainly between Mira and Toa units and Deborah units, etc. But it is a decent link. Yeah, it is there, it is decent, it's okay. Xenoverse, way more restrictive. Not something you're going to get too often. Very fortunate that Toa has it, and some Toas have it, and Demigra has it, for example. Not a super common link, but a very powerful one. But it's not common, so I wouldn't count on it. He has Kamehameha in his base form, which is not a reliable link, I think, for him on an extreme team. And that gets replaced by Nightmare, which I think personally is very good. So for me, I think he's already looking a lot better. I think he is... his link set is very strange, but I think there is merit in link leveling him, especially if you have the strength mirror. You know, between the two of them, if you link level them, you gain tons of defense. We're talking 25% defense. You also gain 5% damage reduction, which is crazy. You then also gain 2 key, which is very, very, very good, and you also gain, the Fierce Battle attack reduction, which is all pretty solid, if I can speak plainly. I think overall it's really, really good. And yeah, in general, it's a very, very solid link set. Yeah, it's not something that's going to blow your mind, but I think it's a very, very, very solid link set. Demonic Powers, great link. Tough as Nails, Android Assault, Nightmare, all really, really good. And then Fear and Faith, I believe they also share, which is pretty solid. I think it's a very decent link set, and they gain a lot of defense out of it, which is awesome. And if you link level them, you're going to see a very big performance, especially with Strength Mirror. Also greatly stacking defense on his super attack. It's a pretty interesting mechanic, and can definitely, when you pair up with this many good defensive links, can look really, really solid. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Bye.